Jesus Christ is King.
All right, cause number 2312903 and 2312934.
Aren't you going to take a seat?
No, I'd rather stand.
Well, it's your hearing, sir.
Is it okay if I stand? Is there something wrong?
Why do you have to stand so close to him?
The sign there that says no standing.
Oh, well, okay. I didn't know I was subject to those rules. I didn't agree to it. Anyway.
Okay, so there's a bench warrant.
You know, I'm just going to take the seat.
Thank you.
Sit right here if that makes us a little more comfortable.
Is it uncomfortable if I stand up, Your Honor?
Well, depends on how you're going to act or behave today. Okay, so you failed to appear for court multiple times in this case.
Your Honor, just for the record, the named defendant is Actual Property, a registered trade name.
Oh, here we go.
And the case has also been certified as a fraud. I have court certified documents to prove that. That should be on the record. And that's the reason why it was certified to be a fraud, because the plaintiff is a foreign-owned private corporation, of which I have no contract with, and neither does the registered trade name. And the registered trade name has been used without authorization and permission, and there's an act of identity theft. And that's probably one of the reasons also why the state has acquiesced that both cases are a fraud. I have that in court certified documents with me today as well. It should be on the record.
May, Your Honor. Just a minute, please.
Let me add one more piece of information. I am a foreign sovereign with respect to the privately owned foreign corporation known as the state of Washington.
Okay, so on the 9304, I am going to quash that one. He was in RALJ appeal status, and so I'm going to quash that one. But I do want to hear from the state on the 303 matter.
Yes, on the 303 matter, Mr. Haywood was sentenced to serve 4 days in jail. He failed to report to the jail on June 29, 2023, and we're asking him to be taken into custody to serve that time.
No objection, Your Honor. I actually contacted the jail to make special arrangements to deliver the defendant with the special arrangements to not damage the paper, and the jail refused. So I attempted to deliver the defendant, and objection, the state has no standing as they are representing a privately owned foreign corporation, and the prosecutor is not licensed to practice law in this country.
Okay, so I think it's the 303 that he was convicted and ordered to do jail, and you believe that he didn't comply with jail because there's a docket entry that said defendant complied with jail. Maybe that was an error.
That was probably my attempt to deliver the defendant to the jail, but they refused.
I understand, and we relooked that he had not, as was the state's understanding, he had not served the jail time.
And just to clarify, the defendant only exists on paper, just as the plaintiff only exists on paper. The jail refused the paper, and here we are today. And the state still hasn't proven standing yet, by the way, as well.
So, Mr. Haywood, it doesn't look like you did the sentence on the 303 matter. And so I am going to quash the warrant. However, I am going to have you serve that time.
Okay, well, I'll deliver the paperwork to the jail. That's fine. I tried to once before, but they refused it. And just to clarify, I'm not the defendant. There is nothing on there, nor is there any testimony from anybody as firsthand witnesses under penalty of perjury that I am the defendant. And I've uploaded plenty of documentation to prove I'm not the actual defendant. That is a registered trade name, matter of public record, and registered with the state. So if you want me to serve some jail time, then we're going to need to change who the defendant is, because I'm not the defendant.
All right. So can you upload a new commitment? Yes, Your Honor.
And the reason they couldn't put my name on there as a defendant is because I'm a foreign sovereign with respect to the corporate entity known as the state of Washington, of which I have no contract with.
Okay, so what, with respect to the 304 matter, which is still pending, what's your position on the warrant, Ms. Fredenberg?
The state was going to ask for that warrant to be served.
Objection to jurisdiction. The state has never proven any jurisdiction and has no jurisdiction or standing. So any request or statements from any representative from the state are a nullity and a fraud. If jurisdiction is challenged, it must be established on the record. And it hasn't been, and it still isn't. You can do it now if you like, if you can.
Okay, so Mr. Haywood, you failed to appear many times in both of these matters, had many warrants quashed, and to be perfectly honest, I'm not confident that you're going to come back to court given the history here of failing to appear.
I will agree to come back to court on behalf of the defendant. The appearance fiasco was simply because the communication between the acting prosecutor at the time and myself. I have plenty of emails. So in one case, he said he was just going to reschedule with the judge. I told him reschedule whenever you want. I'll go ahead and be there and I'll bring the defendant with me. And next thing you know, there was a warrant for a failure to appear. So there's been plenty of fun and games with the acting prosecutor at the time. So it wasn't just a matter of not bringing the defendant to the court. The prosecutor was intentionally sabotaging the scheduling process.
Well, the prosecutor doesn't handle scheduling, the court does. So the court ordered you to be here and then you weren't. So.
Objection, the court ordered the defendant to be here. I am simply bringing the defendant to the court to help try to solve the problem. The fact that the registered trade name remains as a named defendant is an act of identity theft and fraud, and that's probably why the state has acquiesced that the case is a fraud. I have the documentation here with me today in case if they decided not to upload it to the court record.
Well, you had your day in court on the 303 matter. You had a trial. You represented yourself or the defendant, whichever way you want to say it, but you represented the defendant yourself. And you were convicted and you were ordered to serve 4 days in jail. You didn't do that. And so
The defendant was ordered to serve 4 days in jail, and I attempted to deliver the defendant to the jail, but the jail refused.
okay, well, I'm going to make sure that they don't, because I've done a new commitment for you today so that they won't refuse for the defendant to serve that time. I'm going to serve the warrant, and so we need a pretrial date, Madam Clerk.
There's no jurisdiction yet been proven or standing. Are we going to continue? That would be an act of fraud and treason.
Your Honor,
That's a felony. That's an arrestable offense.
I put both of them in one of four.
Well, we don't need anything on the 303. He's just going to serve a sentence.
Okay.
We just need the 304, and
Yes,
I
I have
see
the
that.
defendant here with me today. You can take him to the jail if you like.
So your next court date is going to be September 13th. We probably need to change that since I'm taking him into custody. So do we have anything in August?
Excuse me, Your Honor, are you testifying that I am the defendant under penalties of perjury?
I'm not testifying to anything.
Good. And here's the defendant right here.
All right.
Your Honor, we can do August 24th at 10:30.
All right, I can change that.
Thank you, Your Honor.
So August 24th at 10:30 in the morning will be your next court date.
I will be here with the defendant, no problem.
You're going to serve those 4 days and then you'll be released and nothing more will happen on that 303 case. You'll be done. And then this case will be heard August 24th at 10:30 in the morning. If you change your mind about representing yourself, then you can ask for help if you want it. If you don't want help, we don't have to have it. So we'll see you in August. I'm going to have you take a seat right over there.
I will be here for the defendant on August 24th. Would you like me to deliver the defendant to the jail?
I would like you to sit over there
Is there any standing
with
or
the defendant.
jurisdiction chosen, proven here yet?
Please go take a seat.
Okay, so let the record reflect no jurisdiction has been proven. And neither has the identity of the defendant definitively been established.
Okay, please go take a seat. Sonia Sesko, customer 2310242. Mr. Haywood, sit down.
Am I obligated to follow these rules?
You are going to sit down right now.
Do you have any jurisdiction? I don't believe you have any jurisdiction's been proven yet.
Please sit down.
Are you threatening me with violence?
I'm asking you to sit down.
You only have authority over the defendant. You have no authority.
All right.
What are you doing?
Mr. Haywood?
You escaping?
I got things to do.
No, no, sir.
What?
You are in custody right now. If you leave the courtroom, it's a felony escape.
That's a felony to put me in custody because you have no authority or jurisdiction or standing. You got some proof of that?
Okay, well, we are all being recorded, so if you leave this courtroom, it'll be a felony escape charge. Your
So you-
choice.
Okay, well then, I guess in the best interest of peace, in regards to your violence, I will go ahead and relax for a minute, but let's get with it. I got things to do. Got it?
What was that just thrown?
Car
Do you know that person?
Yeah, they're my boys.
Okay. All right. So thank you. Mr. Haywood has been very disruptive. He tried to leave the courtroom once he was placed in custody. So just FYI, be careful with him.
So, give me a break. Can I just see just need to see it, thank you. Can I see who's being put into custody, please? I just need to see the name. I just need to see the name of the person. Okay, that's not me, that's the problem here.
Christopher Sanborn's matter, we're here today on.
That's not me.
Compliance issue.
The name is saying it, but that's my registered trade name. I got all that documentation right here.
Okay, good. So we're
You want
gonna
it?
take care of this.
Okay. Yeah. Well, this is the defendant technically.
If you want that, I can go with you, put everything private.
Hold on 1 second. That's taken care of.
We can see that, can't even get the right name.
Did she file a notice of appearance?
I will make sure that she does, Your Honor.
Okay. Yeah, sorry, I haven't had enough coffee yet today. So yeah, no, you've got Ms. Bradshaw, so that's fine. You don't need to do those forms. But she does need to file a notice of